we come to you this evening as humbly as we know how, thanking you for the blessings you bestow upon us as a city and all the residents herein, even those who are struggling and have little or nothing. We ask that you put your loving hand and comfort on those families who were affected last week in Texas, Massachusetts, and other areas of strife. We ask you to give us the ability to do this job in a fair and just manner. These and all the blessings we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Protogiru?
Here.
Say here.
Mr. Riddick?
Here.
Mr. Smigiel,
Here.
Dr. Whibley?
Here.
Ms. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Wynn?
Here.
Mr. Frame?
Here. The motion is to excuse the vice mayor. Mr. Burford, please.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. The motion is to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Mr. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. The clerk will please read the resolution for the closed meeting.
A resolution certifying a closed meeting of the Council of the City of Norfolk held in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. Adopt the resolution. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Norfolk City Council chambers. We're glad to have all of you here. Thanks for coming out tonight. For the benefit of those of you who do not regularly attend our council meetings, the process which we will follow this evening is the first thing we're going to do is take up public hearings, and I know most of you are here for public hearing number one, and we'll talk about that in just a second. There are 3 public hearings. At the conclusion of the public hearings, we'll move to the consent agenda. Those are matters which the council may vote on all 6 of those matters at once if it elects to do so, and then we'll move to our regular agenda. There are 8 items there. We'll vote on all of these matters in just the way they are numbered on the printed docket. At the conclusion of our regular agenda, if any member of the public would like to address the city council on a non-agenda item, as something that's not on the written docket, you'll be given that opportunity. But in order to have your name called, we would appreciate it if you would first, we would ask you to sign a slip of paper that the clerk has made available in the lobby out behind the council chambers before the meeting began. Before we move to our formal agenda, though, we have a couple of ceremonial matters, and the first one involves Crime Victims' Rights Week. And is the Commonwealth Attorney here? Is Craig?
Yes.
Yeah, would you please come to the podium? Appreciate you being here. And you have Heather Fuss with you, who's the Assistant Director of the Victim Witness Assistance Program, and I'm going to read the proclamation, and we'd be glad to hear from you, Greg.
All right, sir.
Proclamation reads, whereas millions of Americans are direct victims of crime each year, and each crime affects many more people, including victims' relatives, friends, and neighbors. Whereas crime can leave an emotional, physical, and financial impact on people of all ages, abilities, and economic, racial, and social backgrounds. And victims of crime need compassionate services and just compensation to transform into crime survivors. And whereas we applaud the progress that our nation has made in recognizing crime's impact on all victims since the first National Crime Victims' Rights Week in April of 1981. Whereas this year's National Crime Victims' Rights Week theme of New Challenges, New Solutions encourages a greater emphasis on learning what works when trying to meet the needs of the victims. And whereas we recognize advocates for the comprehensive representation they provide to crime victims. And whereas the Office of the Norfolk Commonwealth's Attorney and its Victim Witness Assistance Program are daily partners with victim service programs, public safety and criminal justice officials, and concerned citizens throughout the city of Norfolk and the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now, therefore, I, Paul Frame, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, do hereby proclaim the week of April the 21st through the 27th, 2013, as Crime Victims' Rights Week in the City of Norfolk, and reaffirm the city's commitment to respect and enforce victims' rights and address their needs during Crime Victims' Rights Week and throughout the year, and expressed our appreciation for those victims who have turned personal tragedy into a motivating force to improve our response to victims of crime and build a more just community. Given under my hand this 23rd day of April. Mr. Commonwealth's Attorney, be glad to present the proclamation and be glad to hear from you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I intend to be very brief because it appears that you have a busy docket. I initially thought that all the people here
For you.
were fans of the Norfolk Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
Well,
In any event, I have members of my staff here, and I was going to acknowledge them by asking them to stand, but they're already standing, so I'd like to have them come forward. Come forward, members of the staff, and I'll press on.
Please.
Mayor, council members, and city leaders, this proclamation, how appropriate, on the heels of the tragedy in Boston. We at the Commonwealth Attorney's Office are especially grateful for this time of public recognition for the victims and witnesses who come to court each day to assist us with cases. It is their involvement that helps justice be done. We are fortunate here in Norfolk to have advocates who work with prosecutors to ensure the comprehensive representation of crime victims and witnesses. Our Office Victim Witness Assistance Program assists crime victims with compensation forms for funeral expenses, referrals to counseling service, and education about victim rights. Heather Fuss, the director of the program, stands with me tonight, along with other prosecutors in my office and advocates. I'd like for the victims of the victims of crimes, well, I was going to ask them to stand, but I've already done that part. I'd like for you all to give them a round of applause for the work that they do. Thank you. Finally, taking the lead from the Norfolk Police Department and the Norfolk Sheriff's Office, this office is also developing a collaborative crime prevention initiatives. Preventing crimes from happening also prevents victimization. Our Community Collaboration Center, which opened in November with the gracious help of the city, at the Workforce Development Center, is accomplishing great things with community partners. The CCC's work with the Norfolk Police Department and the YWCA on a domestic violence prevention initiative called the Lethality Assessment Protocol led to the Virginia Attorney General's Office to present this city, Norfolk, with a Safe in Our Community Awards in December. In June, we will partner with Norfolk Public Schools and a number of public safety and criminal justice agencies to share an important lesson with students at this critical time, just before the summer break. We will teach them the importance of making good decisions and the consequences of making poor decisions. Like many of you, we're very busy, so thanks again for providing this opportunity for crime victims and their supporters to be publicly recognized. And at this time, I would ask that we all take a moment to pause and reflect in silence in honor of the victims of crime in Norfolk, communities all over this country, including Newtown and Boston. A moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you being down here. Thank you for the good work that you do for the citizens of Norfolk and for the good work of the Commonwealth Attorney's Office here. And we appreciate all of you coming down and for bringing this important issue to our attention one more time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Is Amanda Lloyd here? Amanda? Hi, Amanda. How are you? You're here to receive the Public Service Recognition Week proclamation?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. The proclamation reads, whereas Americans are served every single day by public servants at the federal, state, county, and city levels. These unsung heroes do the work that keeps our nation working. And whereas public employees include teachers and librarians, computer technicians, custodians, engineers, recreation specialists, administrative personnel, planners, accountants, refuge collectors, and managers. Whereas many public servants, including military personnel, law enforcement officers, firefighters, paramedical, rescue professionals, and others risk their lives each day in service to the people of the United States. And whereas there are approximately 5,000 loyal employees that serve in the City of Norfolk workforce, who provide exceptional service to our citizens and contribute to a well-managed government. Whereas without these public servants at every level, continuity would be impossible in a democracy that regularly changes its leaders and elected officials. Now, therefore, I, Paul Frame, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, do hereby proclaim the week of May 5th through the 11th, 2013 as Public Service Recognition Week in the City of Norfolk, and encourage all citizens to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of government employees at all levels, federal, state, and local, and to applaud in particular the dedication of those who serve the City of Norfolk. And given under my hand this 23rd day of April 2013. Amanda, thank you for coming down to receive this, and thank you for bringing this to our attention again. And we'd love to hear from you.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. As Chair of the City of Norfolk Employee Engagement and Recognition Committee, on behalf of the committee and all City of Norfolk employees, we thank you for this honor. Our employees are proud to serve our local community and be part of such a great team. The committee has worked hard to plan several exciting events and activities throughout May to celebrate Public Service Recognition Week. Our fellow employees look forward to celebrating our hard work and dedication together. Thank you again for this recognition and honor.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, that concludes the ceremonial portion of tonight's meeting. Public hearing number 1, please.
Public hearing 1 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of the council on February 26, 2013, on a request by First Baptist Church of Norfolk for exemption from real estate taxes for property located at 805 Park Avenue.
Okay, let me make a few preliminary comments. It's good to see all of you down here, especially pleased to see our delegate Algie Howell down here as well. Algie, thank you for being here. I don't know if there are any other elected officials.
Senator
There you are, Senator Kenny. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here as well. Appreciate you being in our chambers. You're welcome here at any moment, as well as any citizen of the City of Norfolk. The council has discussed this matter on a couple of occasions, okay? And to get to the chase, I know we are favorably inclined to consider this matter in the affirmative, okay? There are 18 of you who are signed up to speak. And, I mean, that could take at least an hour if you'd like to do that. But you don't have to speak, because I think that's a unanimous at this point in support of this matter. So, we... All right, okay.
rarely get
All right,
that.
thanks.
Thank
Okay. Okay. We didn't do it for that. Okay, hold on.
They're clapping. They get to go home. You don't have to stay for an hour now either.
I know. I saw Dr. Peavy, and we got some distinguished Norfolk citizens here. If anybody would like to say a few words, I know a lot of you came down here, and I wouldn't take that moment away from you, and even Mr. Riddick said that. I mean, we're not rushed for time. We'll be here all night if you'd like, but I think we're where we are. Maybe what I'll do is call the name out, and you can just pass. But Dr. Murray, I see him coming out of the seats. Now, let me say this. Wait a minute. So, all right. No preaching, Dr. Murray, okay? All right? Have it the way it is, okay? All right, okay. And if you'll please identify yourself by giving us your full name and your address, please.
My name is Robert Murray, and I live at 862 Wedgefield Court in Norfolk,
Thank you.
23502, and pastor of the First Baptist Church, also here in Norfolk. Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council, thank you for even the opportunity to make a presentation here. We would just say thank you, and certainly would say go on with the vote.
Okay.
But I would like to say just one thing, and that is that back in 1920, when this great home was made possible for people who didn't have a family that could take care of them, Richard H. Boulding was ahead of his times. What he decided to do is lead a congregation to build a place, and then people who were widows and widowers had a place to stay. We call that social ministry in those days. And it was a partnership that only the church can find among the community. And I think that the partnership should remain even that much more extended in this day and time, because there's things that the churches can do for the city to help you the work that you have to do. Help you with the schools, help you with the students, help you with the homeless. And First Baptist has historically done that. Some 250,000 persons in the last almost 29 years have been fed once a week. Some 22,000 students in the last 25 to 27 years have gone through our tutorial program. And there was no remuneration from the federal, the state, or even the city. We did it because it's what Christ called us to do, and that is to serve. We come with no ill feelings. We only want to do one thing, and that is to serve. Thank you for the opportunity,
Well, thank you.
and God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Thank you. If anyone would like to raise their hand and say a few words, I would never stand between a microphone and one of our elected officials, believe me. But if we're prepared to vote unless someone has something else they'd like to say. Okay, but we really do appreciate.
While you're ahead.
Mr. Rocco would like to. I really do appreciate all of you coming down here. I was reminded today of that Thelma Harrison spent her last days there, and I know what a great facility that has been over time. Thelma was a great lady too. So, all right, call the vote, please.
Have an ordinance granting an exemption from real estate taxes for real property of First Baptist Church of Norfolk located at 805 Park Avenue. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
I'd like to say a couple of things. You know, while this hearing reflects First Baptist Church, Butte Street, I think of First Baptist Church, home for the aged, as Reverend Murray described. Before there was Medicare or Medicaid, there was First Baptist Church taking care of old people. I also think of one of the darkest periods of time that we have in our history as a result of massive resistance. And First Baptist Church was here again to give education to youngsters who were victims of something they had nothing to do with. So First Baptist Church has always been an integral part of this community. I'm certainly proud of the number of you have turned out. I'm certainly proud and thankful of my council who have decided that this is the right thing to do. I vote aye.
Mr. Smeagol?
Thank you for everybody coming out tonight. It's great to see a packed house. So I want to take this opportunity to advertise our public hearing tomorrow on our budget, which is at 6 o'clock at Granby High School. And I hope that you will continue your advocacy for our children and that you will show up and help advocate for our school system and getting more funding for them. So I'd love to see all of these wonderful, bright, smiling faces. Some of my colleagues there tomorrow. Could you imagine if we could fill that auditorium at Granby High School to advocate for our kids that way? Yeah. Okay. Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
I just want to say thank you to everybody from First Baptist Church Butte Street and all of the other churches who came out in support of First Baptist Butte Street, along with all of the clergy. And I just think it's important to acknowledge that. And I want to ask the pastors who came out to support Dr. Murray if they would just stand so that they can be recognized. All the pastors. When this issue first came to me, I really wasn't sure what the end result was going to be. I know what I was hoping for, but I wasn't really sure what the end result was going to be. And Dr. Murray asked me somewhere down the line, what should I do? And I said, get every prayer warrior that you can to pray and bring everybody to the meeting that will come. So I just want to say thank you to the administration for working with First Baptist Butte Street to get this matter resolved, to being willing to listen and go through the facts and make sure that we had an accurate account of what they actually do at Shepherd's Village. And thank you to First Baptist Butte Street for not giving up and not giving in, but pursuing it to the end. I vote aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Okay. The matter carries. We get everybody?
Yes, sir.
We have more business to attend, but we'll take a moment here, if, for those of you who came just for this matter, would like to leave. Courtney.
Sheila.
Algie, it's great to see you. Kenny? How you doing, man? Here, man. It's good to see you.
Hey, Bud, how are you? So good to see you.
Y'all saw how stuff gets done now. It ain't Richmond now, but y'all saw how it gets done.
How you doing? Good to see you, Doc.
Get up here with you.
What's up, partner in crime?
Man, how you doing?
Kind of,
Good call.
I will. I promise it ain't gonna be bad.
How you doing?
Did you used to work with Dr. Saccone?
Welcome. Thank you.
You know, I did a rotation there when I was a medical student, way back. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And,
Doing?
Thank you.
yeah, he's having some issues. Feel bad.
Good to see you. All right.
We can get some people.
Yes. Thanks so much, and thanks for coming.
Good. Yes, sir.
Did, you know, I'm going to be out of town. Did you do the ride last week? Wow, you are amazing, Ron. I am so impressed.
Hour and a half.
I got a new bike.
Up, you know?
Yeah, and so I'm now ready to go. So I'm going to be out there.
Come out.
Watch it, not
Have your
Bible.
Bible
I love that ride.
And then bring them in to.
All right, I'll be there. Good. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Good to see you. See you later.
Hey, man. Good. Good. All right.
Welcome. Thanks for coming down. Thanks for coming down. Good job. Reverend Murray, good to see you.
Yes, better after you.
Man, how you doing? Good to
God's
see you.
work.
That's important.
I know, but here's yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks a lot. Glad you guys could come.
Thank you for coming down.
Thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming down.
Good.
Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. All right.
Down.
How you been? Hey, man. Good to see you. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a...
Down. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, okay, we'll go with that. It's a wedding reception. Yes, good to see you. Take care.
Hey, how you been? Good to see you.
Good for you. That was good.
Re-elected.
Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Beebe. I need the blessing. Hey, thanks for coming down.
Gosh, that was
Okay, Luis, okay.
How you doing? Dr. Peter, I want to hear you so bad, but that's okay.
Did you go to school with him?
No, you had a...
Have stories you can tell?
How you? Her.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
We should have.
Right? We would.
Not me, not Winter, just you and her.
Bruce, I was reading about your afro.
Texted me, she said,
Hey, Harold.
Yes.
Good to see you, man. You're still looking good.
deal, right? Yeah, no.
Well, absolutely.
Hey, how's it going, Chuck? Hey, man. How's it going?
That's right.
They jet.
Right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for
This thing. What? Oh, I have to excuse me.
Yeah.
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 It's gonna be a tough vote. We'll have to see how it goes.
That's,
You don't have many people down there.
that's Mostarka.
Mr. Boat.
Yeah, please. I don't have your new email, so I don't know if you're still
It cost him $800.
in military mail or.
I told him, I know, he asked to be behind that, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh, okay.
If I could call the meeting back to order, please. Okay.
I wasn't.
I know. Cost somebody.
It's coming up fast.
All right, public hearing number 2, please.
He can afford it.
Public hearing 2 is scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on March 26, 2013, on the application of Thomas Corner Associates LLC by Robert Stanton to amend Chapter 11 overlay districts of the zoning ordinance of the City of Norfolk 1992 as amended, to create the Thomas Corner localized alternative sign overlay district, and for a rezoning to apply the Thomas Corner localized alternative sign overlay district on property located at 6147 East Virginia Beach Boulevard. And by a 7-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
All right, there are no members of the public who are signed up to address the council on this matter. At least I don't have any slips. Okay, if there's no one here, and if there are no questions from the council, the clerk can call the roll, please.
I have two ordinances, Mr. President. The first is an ordinance to amend Chapter 11 of the zoning ordinance of the City of Norfolk, 1992, so as to create the Thomas Corner Localized Alternative Sign Overlay District. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiro?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye.
The second is an ordinance to apply the Thomas Corner Alternative Sign Overlay District to property located at 6147 East Virginia Beach Boulevard. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiro?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, public hearing 3, please.
Public hearing 3 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on March 26, 2013, on the application of Town Bank by Vincent J. Mastracco to amend the city's comprehensive plan, Plan Norfolk 2030, from residential mix to commercial for a conditional rezoning from Ghent Historic and Cultural Conservation District to conditional C2 Corridor Commercial District, and for a special exception to operate a commercial drive-through facility on property located at 1006 Colley Avenue. And by a 7-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
All right, we have a unanimous vote from the Planning Commission. We have 8 people who are signed up to speak to us this evening. All of you are proponents. Why don't I ask Mr. Mastracco to come forward here and see if the council has any questions for him? Maybe we can short-circuit a little bit of this.
Okay.
Does any member of the council have any questions?
The only question I have, they're still going to go ahead with the traffic calming
Yes,
and all the proffers
That's right.
that they've talked about during the course of this.
right.
All right, and,
What are the traffic calming
yeah, and
suggestions? What are they?
Can I read it? Let me tell you what we did. The question was whether or not traffic needed to be calmed on Westover Avenue. So the proffer says a traffic speed bump on tabletop crosswalk shall be installed on Westover Avenue in front of the property in accordance with the design and location specifications of the Department of Public Works, unless the Director of Public Works determines that such a feature should not be constructed for public safety reasons. So the question was whether or not we have no control because this is an off-site improvement. But the bank said if this meets the neighborhood's concerns because of traffic coming through, they were willing to defray the cost of doing that.
there are next-door neighbors who are here and people who live on Westover who are all here in support.
Right.
Sure.
Just 2 questions.
Yeah.
One, going back to that on the issue of the, are we talking about if vehicles are coming up from the, I guess, the Colonial Avenue side? Because is there a median there that separates, or is it just?
No, it basically.
Collie.
Yeah. I mean,
It's Collie and.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out on the map, and I saw it on Collie, and
Yeah.
it sits on the corner, it appears.
Right.
And the entrance to the drive-through is through the backside on West.
There's only, well, actually, in the discussions with the neighborhood, they only wanted one curb cut, so we have one curb cut on Westover and one on Collie. So so the cut on Westover comes in, the drive-through, and they do a right turn only out on Collie.
And what I was trying
Right
to
turn
figure-
only?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but what I was trying to figure out, Vince, is if you're coming from Colonial, is Westover have a median, a grass median, or is it just?
No.
It's a regular street?
Right.
And it didn't show it, I don't think, in the pictures, 'cause I tried to
Right.
figure
Well,
that out.
I'm not, I know, these are just things that are illustrations.
That'd be great. And how,
We had a series of like boards and stuff, but these really are, kind of give you the exact.
and how long is this laid unimproved, Vince?
Thank you.
Since the BP closed, how long has it been that way?
About a year.
It feels like it's been forever.
I know it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything
Only other
further?
thing, I don't know the neighborhood, Chuck, do y'all have any?
Yes. No, wait a minute, let me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for Mr. Mastracco?
I just wanted to make a comment about this. I really appreciate all the time and effort Mr. Mattson, Mr. Mastracco has done working with the neighborhood. This has been a labor of love, a lot of iterations on this plan. I think we've come to a good resolution. I hope, I want to let you all know that following this vote, there is a plan to move ahead with then having an ordinance to change this to a GFC L3, GC3, yeah. So, which is consistent with what HAPC proposes. It would continue the historic designation in this area, and we would make sure that the land uses are consistent with what Town Bank is anxious for this property, and that the neighborhood can also agree with. So this is our first step, and we're going to go ahead with this, but this will probably come back to you in a later date that we'll continue to work together on.
Right, and
So
we
I really
understand
appreciate
that.
all the time, but for expedience, we thought we'd go ahead with this vote and then later be working toward that. The GC3. Thank you.
All right, let me call the other folks here just to see if they have anything else they'd like to say. I see Pat Clay. Pat, we haven't seen you down here in a long time.
Well, John Mattson is here.
Yeah. Mr. Clay, do you have anything you want to add? Pat, do you have anything you want to add? It's good to see you again. Or you're just here in support?
Well, yeah, I suspect you want to get on with it.
Right.
Business.
Yeah, okay. Mr. McCart, the same way? It's okay. Of course, John Mattson is here. Chuck Melcher is here. Chuck is the neighbor, and we all know Chuck, but you like to add something at all?
Just if I could, Mayor?
Sure.
Only for
Next
clarity.
door neighbor.
I just don't want this one to get lost, and I appreciate Vince doing that. On this side, I'd like to throw John some kudos. This has been a win-win. This is how cities are supposed to operate. I'm the neighbor. I'm going to be most affected.
That's right.
You know, they've done everything they could to make it go. So, you know, to you all and to them, I appreciate it. I want to call special attention to the proffer. We've agreed to it. They've agreed to it. The assistant city manager has agreed to it. We kind of wanted it dead-ended in one way. They said, that ain't going to happen, but how about some traffic calming? How about a tabletop crosswalk? You know, the neighbors are here in support of it. I'd like you to specifically approve that so that it doesn't get hung up. And there are some rules you have about 75% of the street agreeing to it. I have those signatures here with me. We have over 75% of the block approval for this. The only ones we don't have are the ones we couldn't reach because they're college renters and coming and going, and we haven't been able to get to them, and there are 5 of those. But other than that, we have 100% agreement that this is the way to go. It'll look something like that. I've told John the fountain in the background is completely optional. We're happy to forego that. But Westover is the largest street in Norfolk between Olney and 21st Street. It's the only two-way street that doesn't have a stoplight on it between Colonial and Hampton. We are the throughway. For anyone that knows Norfolk, we are the throughway. Just in our 700 block, we have 19 children, 17 of which are under the age of 10. And, you know, there's a traffic study ongoing, I get that. The sort of trip wire there is 40 miles an hour on a 100-yard street. We're not going to hit that, I don't think, but we hit the traffic throughput because of who we are. It's going to go back up when the bank gets here. We're all adjusted to that. But these little push-outs and this tabletop crosswalk, it's not a speed bump. There is no effect on your emergency vehicles. There's no effect on people that want to come through, but when they come through, it'll be a little bit of a visual distraction. It'll be downstream of the bank, so it won't affect their entrance. It'll just give us a little bit of, we're not red gate, we're not grading, we're not trying to block it off. Just slow down when you hit here, when you come into the bank. And so we ask that you specifically approve that in this resolution today. Thank you.
I don't know if that's included in the resolution or not, but we can come back and, if it's not, we'll come back and make sure it's done, Chuck.
Thanks very much.
Okay, give you our word on it.
It is in the proffer.
Okay.
I may be violating something here, but.
The Horshes are here. Are you, Tom, did you want to add anything? Are you? Okay.
It's a small item, but we've been talking with Mr. Pizzacco on the issue and with Town Bank, and we're the property owner adjacent on the other side. We're on Colonial, on Colley Avenue, right next to the old gas station. And the issue there is there's a wall that runs along between the gas station and the property line where we and there's 5 other townhouses that sit in that complex. And there's a pathway between the wall of the bank and the backyards of the townhouses. And the issue is that because of a lack of space in the area, there's been a practice of having the trash cans and the recycle cans parked on the Town Bank property on the corner right there on Colley Avenue, which is improper, and certainly they're not interested in having it done. In the design of the wall, the redesign of the wall, what the Town Bank and Mr. Carl had indicated, is they will agree to, in the design, to provide cutouts, if you will, off of the pathway, so they could, the landowners can put their trash cans and stuff in the area behind the wall. So that's the issue that's going on currently. That'll be in the design review process. It doesn't show up in any of the rezoning aspects and whatnot, but it's an issue that we're concerned out, that we don't want trash cans in our front yard, they don't want them in their front yard, but to provide the issue to do that. I think there's an agreement there, but we just want to make that note, so.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Good to see you, Tom. Thank you. Okay, I think that concludes the list of folks who might have something to add here, or at least that I've got notification of. Nice to see everybody here.
I have a question. Actually, it's for Bernard. Bernard, I hadn't even thought about this until right this minute, but I work for Prudential Town Realty, which is an affiliate owned by or in part of Town Bank. Am I able to vote on this?
I don't know if you receive
I'm
income
not
from
benefiting
Town Bank.
from this, but I do work indirectly for the bank.
If it's just indirectly, you don't have a conflict. But if you're directly receiving income from Town Bank, you have a conflict.
Well, my income, for the record, comes directly from Prudential Town Realty, not Town Bank. Okay.
All right, call the roll, please.
I have three ordinances, Mr. President. The first is an ordinance to amend the city's comprehensive plan, Plan Norfolk 2030, so as to change the land use designation for property located at 1006 Colley Avenue from residential mix to commercial. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
I have to abstain. I'm a member of the Town Bank Board of Directors, who have their corporate headquarters at 5716 High Street in Portsmouth, Virginia.
The second is an ordinance to rezone property located at 1006 Colley Avenue from Ghent Historic and Cultural Conservation District to Corridor Commercial District. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Abstain.
The third is an ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of a commercial drive-through facility on property located at 1006 Colley Avenue. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
I abstain. Should I give the corporate headquarters again? Is that?
No, it's in the record, that's fine.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming down. We have concluded the public hearings. Okay, thank you. And thanks to everyone else for coming down. Appreciate it. And you're free to leave if you'd like. Okay. Okay, the consent agenda, please. Is there any item on the consent agenda any member of the council would like to have considered separately? All right, call the roll, please.
Approve the consent agenda, Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
I just want to remind everybody that the NATO Festival Parade is this weekend, and the flag raising's this, I guess, Friday. Love to have you out there. R1, please.
R1 is an ordinance to amend and reordain Section 42-201 of the Norfolk City Code 1979 regarding special numbering provisions as to certain buildings so as to add one new subsection, renumbering 245 West Albany Road as one Memorial Place. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R2.
An ordinance permitting 401 Granby LLC to encroach up to 3 feet more or less into the rights-of-way of Granby Street and Freemason Street with cornices, Juliet balconies, foundation, footer, and roof overhang.
All right, Mr. Hens here to answer any questions if anyone has any. Call the roll.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley? Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R3.
An ordinance accepting, appropriating, and authorizing the expenditure of $5,000 in grant funds if and when received from the Commonwealth of Virginia Commission for the Arts for distribution on a competitive basis to local arts organizations and authorizing the additional expenditure of $5,000 previously appropriated as a local cash match.
Deborah Burrell is here to answer questions, if we have any. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R4.
An ordinance accepting, appropriating, and authorizing the expenditure of $4,500 as a one-time training grant from the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services for the Norfolk Criminal Justice Services Agency for evidence-based best practices and other related training of 22 persons for the agency. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn. Mr. Frame.
Aye, R5.
An ordinance accepting the sum of $74,591 from the Chesapeake Bay Trust Living Shoreline Grant Program, $42,689 from the Department of Public Works Stormwater Management to hire a contractor to build a living shoreline erosion control project in Collie Bay, and appropriating and authorizing the expenditure of funds.
Mr. James, Ellis James, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, Mr. City Manager Marcus Jones. My name is Ellis W. James. I reside at 2021 Ken Lake Place here in the city of Norfolk. I was going to ask all the people in the room supporting this issue to stand, but the exuberance has left.
I'll stand.
Thank you. I would like to once again indicate support for this particular item. It is extremely important, and as most of you know, we have been working hard on the Norfolk Environmental Commission to facilitate exactly these kinds of things. And Kevin Du Bois and the Woodlands Board people have done the same, and John Stewart, and I could go on talking about why we should be very happy that both the Chesapeake Bay Trust as well as the Stormwater Management Department is pushing hard on this issue. It will be a significant addition to our efforts in the city of Norfolk, and those of us who are involved in these things are very proud. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ellis. Call the roll, please.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R6.
An ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of an eating and drinking establishment on property located at 5103 to 5107 Collie Avenue. By 7-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R7.
An ordinance granting a special exception to operate an automobile sales and service establishment on property located at 6222 East Virginia Beach Boulevard and 1004 Kempsville Road. By a 7-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
Second, Mr. Greg Clark is here to answer questions if we have any, and Greg Hartley, they are the applicants.
Yeah. Now, is this a part of Cadillac dealership? Or what?
You would, Mr. Clark?
Yes, it is. It is the Cadillac dealership.
Right, and it was the old what? What was there first?
You know, that's,
I mean, is this where the dealership was? There's a dealership on the corner that's a used car dealership, but this must be the vacant land beside that?
no, sir, this is just, all we're doing is adding a little bit on to the existing Cadillac facility.
Okay,
And we're enclosing one space, or asking to enclose one
right.
space.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other question? All right, call the roll, please.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R8.
An ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of an entertainment establishment on property located at 434 Granby Street. By 7-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
And Mr. Christopher Johnson is here to answer questions if anyone has any. All right, call the roll.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay, that concludes the formal portion of tonight's agenda. There are, I think, 4 members of the community who have signed.